And we are live. Welcome, one, and welcome me. I'm gonna leave it a minute or two, and then I'm gonna get into a topic. If you haven't already seen the title of the stream, you'll notice that the title is "How well can you really know someone on YouTube?" And my very nice banner that says, "Inside every person you know, there's a person you don't know." And I wouldn't say had some issues today. I've just had a bath, just in case you're wondering. But I heard through the grapevine last night that a stream was on, and apparently they were talking about me in some of it. I'm not going to say who, you can work that out yourself. And apparently I was basically, in a matter of speaking, just accused of wanting not necessarily to destroy somebody, but I suppose you could call it interfere, make problems, loosely, however you want to put it. And that I basically, in a word, I suppose if you could put it in a nutshell, wasn't trusted, which is crazy. But I'm going to elaborate. So when I come on YouTube, you're a face, a name, depending on whether you choose to use your real name or a pseudonym, or whether you choose not to have a name at all. Obviously, my channel is The Midnight Raven. Raven is my goth name, Midnight is my cat, and together they make the Midnight Raven. It does sound like a cool name, but it obviously isn't my real name. I've mentioned my real name a couple of times on YouTube. I doxed myself because it's easier than someone else trying to find you. I mean, just give it to them. What's the worst that could happen? Most of the time, the people that come at me are in America and I'm in the UK. So unless you're going to cross an ocean, sticks and stones don't really go across an ocean, my friends. They don't really. Water off a duck's back, But coming on YouTube, you use a pseudonym, you use a fictitious name. Maybe you come in here and maybe you use part of your name. Maybe you don't use any of your name at all. Maybe you come out here with a fake name, a nickname, you don't necessarily have to put your real self out there, which is what makes YouTube good. You don't necessarily have to put yourself all out there. There are a few select people. Hang on. There are a few select people on YouTube who have actually met me in real life. I've actually spent the day with them. We've had lunch. We've hung out. They were a group of people I met. We met up. We had a YouTube meet. We spent the day together. We had lunch together. Before that, we used to do live streams. We used to chat daily. We used to hang out constantly. So before meeting somebody in real life, I'd spent numerous hours with them on live streams, on YouTube. We talked behind the scenes. We talked on the phone. I didn't just travel halfway across the country to just meet random people I didn't know. But obviously, when you come on YouTube, you literally, if you start a channel, you are literally talking to anyone, really. Anyone could be watching your video or watching your stream at any one time. And the idea on YouTube is to build a community, a gathering, a group, a crew, a cult, a friendship, a hub, acquaintances, future partners, future friends, future collaborations, cohabitors, conspirators, if you want to call it that, scammers, I don't know, you name it on YouTube. You can be anything you want nowadays. All you have to do is put a name to yourself. But on YouTube, you really don't know sometimes who you're talking to, who you're hanging out with. I mean, you can have a panel with the same people over and over and over, but do you really ever know somebody on YouTube? Do you really know them? Even if, and take this as an example, you have them on your panel, you have them as a mod, You chat to them daily with voice notes, whether it be on Facebook, whether you talk to them on the telephone maybe, whether you email each other, however you want to communicate with someone from YouTube. The question is, do you really ever know someone you talk to? People claim that, I know everything about my friends on YouTube. I've always got their back. I know everything. But do you really? Do you know every secret that this person has? Do you really know them? So on my channel, and we're going to use mine as an example. On my channel, I have very select, and I mean select mods on my channel. I have very few for good reasons. I have grown my mods over time with people that I can trust, who I knew would have my back, who are there whenever I need them. If there's a problem on my channel, like trolls or someone going at you, or someone's put a video out about you, they even know the video's out there. They have your back. They make a response. They come to your live streams. They have your backs at any one time. You can literally click your fingers and at least some of your mods would be around. They'd have your back. And they'd be there for you. Now, I have select mods that I have grown over time, and they are select mods. I take mod wrenches at the flick of a switch. If you want to talk bad about me, if you want to go behind my back, if you want to make derogatory videos, i.e., talking shit about me or hazing me or trolling me, there are things that will just get your wrench taken away. I won't necessarily ban you from the channel, but I take a wrench, because a wrench technically means, it doesn't mean you're above everybody else. It means that you have built a relationship with that person over time and that you trust them, whether it's with your channel or whether it's to have your back in a situation. And then comes the clincher of whether you take that relationship that you have as a mod in your group off of YouTube, whether that be emailing, talking on the phone, talking in Discord behind the scenes, which I do have a Discord. And again, select people are in my Discord for obvious reasons. Being a, if you want to call it, figure on YouTube, there are people that, yes, would like to see you even not on YouTube, or have beef with you on YouTube, or just don't want the best for you on YouTube. And there are people out there like that. But off of YouTube, I have a Discord and I have select people in there, because I talk about certain stuff in there, and I have full faith in my mods that whatever is said in that Discord is private. I also talk to people on Facebook, people that you will have seen as my mods. We talk behind the scenes and we talk about normal shit, everyday occurrences, the weather, what we had for dinner, upcoming live streams, and that kind of thing. That's just what I use a Facebook group for, or at least I do. So I talk to people behind the scenes, and you build up a rapport with them. My hair's dripping. You build up a rapport with them where you chat to them, you learn about them, whether it's their kids, their jobs, their life, their disabilities, and you get to know them. You may not know everything about them, because no one's going to come on a YouTube and suddenly just, give your life story to them, because, you could have, I suppose you could call it rogue mods, who would use it against you. And I myself am very selective when it comes to mods. I'm very selective on who's in my Discord. I'm very selective to what information I give out. Even to people I've actually met in real life. people like Jeanette Pickering, people like Gordo. Gordo's actually a mod in my chat. Emily Bird was another person I met in real life. And even they don't know everything about me, because you know what? Knowledge is power on YouTube. Knowing shit about people can be your demise. I can ruin your chances on YouTube by giving out too much of yourself. It's all right to give out a little bit of yourself to people that you trust. But it's also good to keep some things to yourself as well. Not relaying everything out there to people that maybe would use it against you. Sometimes it's best to use some information you have to keep to yourselves. It's always good to keep something back. You don't need to tell everybody everything, because I find that doing that leaves you open to just bad things. So my mods are select. They are handpicked by myself. When it comes to people I talk to off YouTube, they again are a select few people. I don't just talk to everyone in my chat. And if I did, I probably would never work. But I chat to people in my Discord and I chat to people off YouTube. Now, I like to think that the people I pick to be my mods, like I said, would have my back, believe in me, trust me, and vice versa. Now, apparently, in some occasions, this doesn't seem to go both ways. I highly put my faith in some people. Apparently, it's wrong to, but they apparently have difference of opinions when it comes to whether it be loyalty or trust the opposite way. Now, it's okay to have reservations, concerns. I get that. It's perfectly fine to be paranoid, or even believe, just that tiny little belief that they could have some underhanded, untoward, ulterior motive that they're trying to do. Now, believe me, if I had an ulterior motive on YouTube, you really think I'm going to tell people about it? That would be like the world's stupidest thing. It's like a bank robber coming into the bank the day before and saying, "Excuse me, are you open tomorrow? Because I plan to rob you." Like, come on, people. Seriously? I've been on YouTube for 5 years. I've learned this shit. I know the ins and outs of YouTube like the back of my hand. I've dealt with people roasting me on YouTube, trolling, saying hateful comments. I've been in and out of groups because various reasons. But the ultimate question that is posed is, can you really know anyone on YouTube? And I don't believe that you can. And I believe that the people that have the utmost faith in you, and you put the utmost faith in them, and you're a mod, you spend time with them, you hang out with them, you go on panels, you talk behind the scenes. If they cannot have the belief and trust and faith in you, then the mod friendship means nothing. I mean, I'd like to think I'm a good, decent person, that I have loyalty. I was loyal to a different group for 5 whole years. 5 in total. Not once did I differ from that group at all. Now I am in a different group, if you want to call it that. And for some reason, it feels totally different, and it should do. But when you put your trust and loyalty in somebody else, I don't know about you, but when you're a part of their group, a mod, supposedly a friend, a collaborator, You're meant to have trust and faith in the people that you not only talk to on YouTube, but you also then take into your outside life for YouTube, whether it's talking on the phone or talking by email or voice noting each other and having a rapport off YouTube. You're meant to have some faith, some trust in them, that no matter what you say behind the scenes would stay secret. Or if you did a live stream with them, and shit hit the fan, say on there that someone, whether they doxed you, said your name, doxed your address, or was just being a complete dick, you'd have their back in a heartbeat, and you'd nip whatever that person was concerned about in the butt, and you'd have their backs. So I believe that I want to say, my moderators' backs. I have my friends' backs off of YouTube, who I talk to behind the scenes. And I would like to think that they would have some trust in me, or faith, or belief, that if a scenario came up where someone was doxed or trolled really hard in my chat, or a question was posed that they didn't want to answer, that I would retaliate, put them down, take the stream off, have their back. But apparently, you can find on YouTube that this doesn't necessarily go both ways. And sometimes you feel that you put so much faith into people you meet on YouTube, and that faith is not reciprocated, or the trust isn't reciprocated. I'd like to say that I trust a good portion of the people that I have ever met on YouTube. There are the underlying few that maybe, just maybe, would be classed as go-betweens or on the fences, and maybe when coming on YouTube, they do tell you, you know, watch what you say, be selective on who you talk to, what you share, be selective on who you meet off of YouTube, or to be selective of what information you give out on YouTube, because you never know who is watching, whether it be a follower of your channel, whether it be a troll, whether it be a stalker, whether it be an over-exhilarant fan, and whether you let slip something can always be a thing. You do have to watch what you say. Like, don't give out your address, your phone number to, you know, just anybody. But you'd feel that if you have a group of people that you talk to day in, day out, you're a mod on their channel, that you've been around for a while, and that things have calmed down between whoever you people are, that you could just be like adults about it, have faith in each other, put trust in each other, and apparently that's not reciprocated. And honestly, I have to say, I feel quite disappointed in that respect. I'd like to feel that I can be trusted, but there are people on YouTube, even after showing I can be loyal for 5 years to a community, would still believe that there is some distrust to have in me. Like I said, I was part of a group for 5 years, and after leaving there, I did join another group, if you want to call it that. I don't know if you'd call it a group, a gathering, like I said, of people who I spend quite a lot of my time with, whether it's on YouTube or off YouTube. And I'd like to think that they have belief in me, and faith and trust and loyalty. But there are occasions where situations come up where apparently that loyalty or trust is being tested, if you want to call it, or questioned, where you then feel like, you know, that you're, not as known as you'd like. So the question of is, inside every person there's a person you don't know, and that is entirely true. How can you know somebody on YouTube? I mean, I've met people in real life on YouTube. Real life. I've met them in real life. I've spent the evening with them. I've had dinner, gone shopping with them. I'd spoken to them for many hours, many weeks, many months, even years before I met up with them. I didn't just go on a live stream one day and go, hey, do you want to meet up next week? And then travel halfway across the country and meet a bunch of people I didn't know. I'd spent I think it was maybe a year or 18 months knowing these people before even meeting them in real life. I made sure, of who I was meeting, who they were, and everything. I did my research, if you want to call it. I spent time with them. I hung out with them online, hung out with them on live streams, and, had mod wrenches, put my faith and trust in people. And that's what we don't seem to have on YouTube. No one trusts each other. Everyone's paranoid. That everyone's out to get something, that everybody has their own agenda. Good evening, GLM. And that everybody is out to get you, or they're looking for some crutch to feed on, or they want to bring your channel down, or just tear you apart from the inside out. I don't know. Some people are crazy on YouTube. But how well do we really know people? Your title confuses me, does it? There we go. Sorry. Predicted. How can you really know someone on YouTube? I've changed it. So I was in such a rush to make this video. How can you really know someone on YouTube? Sorry. I see you've been in a lot of trouble recently, GLM. You know how to make your presence known on YouTube. I see that you have a little beef going on with some people. I haven't really been following it, but it's hard not to hear about it because it's everywhere. I hope you're all right though, GLM. I've never really had too much of an issue with you. If I'm honest, I've been in trouble. You're a bad girl. Well, your little issue with Shangy. Well, maybe they are going well. Who knows? I trust a couple of people on YouTube. Everyone else I'm friendly with or a terror to. Well, you have your perks and you have your little quirks. Who am I beefing with? I thought you were beefing with Shangy. I thought you and Shangy had a little bit of issues. As I would say, you never really know someone on YouTube. I thought you and Shangy were beefing or something. Isn't that what's going on? Or have you patched things up? Who knows? Beefs on YouTube happen day in, day out. You can wake up and find someone's had a beef. I'm having little issues myself with a person. I'm not going to use names. Oh, Shangy's just mad that he doesn't affect me, so he's obsessed over me forever. Hours on live streams I don't watch. Oh, he's obsessed. Oh, wow. Well, it must be nice to have your own personal stalker. Can't say I've ever had a stalker on YouTube, but there's always a first. Fair enough. But I wouldn't say it's an issue with a person on YouTube. I'm not using names because honestly, the issue isn't that worthy for YouTube, but I'm using that scenario to talk about it in a loose way, because having beefs on YouTube is so draining and so tiring. But I, pose the question of, can you really know people on YouTube? Do you even want to know people on YouTube? I mean, some of the people you meet on YouTube really want to know who they are in real life. Would you really want to hang around with them and see them off of YouTube? I mean, some people are an interesting case of whether their behavior on YouTube, they would actually do it in real life, or the things they say on YouTube, would they do it if they were face to face with you? I mean, that's an entirely different story. But can you really know someone on YouTube? Even if you spend and dedicate time on a live stream talking to them behind the scenes on the phone, do you still really know these people? Can you really put your trust and faith and loyalty into people who are either across the other side of the country, maybe, or, Shangy is a... You'd love me in real life. I just joke all the time. I am sure you are one big hoot, GLM. You do seem kind of quirky in your videos. I saw your video the other day. I think it was a premiere you were doing, and it was quite funny, if I'm honest. You're like Marmite, GLM. Some people like you, some people hate you. I think that goes with everyone on YouTube. You're always going to find two people that butt heads or have different opinions. And that's just YouTube for you. Some people stick out like a sore thumb as being a person who, just doesn't want to get on with people. And then there's other people that, cry out for attention and they just want everyone to flock to them. They don't care who you are. They just need people around them. But you don't really know anybody. If you have a great big gathering on YouTube of a couple of, say, 100 people, let's use that as an example, 100 people. They come in your chat, they hang out on your live stream in the chat. Do you really know all 100 of them? Could you say you know 50 of them very well, or even 10 of them very well? Could you know at least 10 of your mods or 10 of your people in your chat inside out, everything about them? Could you put your faith and trust in people like that? I trust someone in the US that I've never met. I love her. She's been my friend for a couple of years. Well, there is trust on YouTube, but it is few and far between. I mean, that's good. I'd love to think that there are people out there that no matter what, even if you've never met them in real life, would have your back, because you do spend time. UK, I trust someone in the UK that I've never met. I love her. Oh, okay. Not US, UK. Oh, fair enough. Well, sometimes I guess the old saying is, you have to put your faith into something or someone. And I'd like to think that I could trust some people on YouTube. A very select few, mind you. But I believe I could trust some people, or I'd like to think I could trust some people. Other people, not so much. You do have to be careful what you divulge on YouTube. You do. You just have to be careful. There are some people out there to benefit basically for themselves, and all they care about is themselves. People are idiots to think that just because someone is in their chat, that means they are their friends. Exactly. You never know who you're dealing with on YouTube. Just because a person comes on here with a nice persona, they're friendly and nice, doesn't mean they're exactly the same off of YouTube. Anyone can put on an act. Anyone could pretend to be someone just to get you to come to their stream, or in some people's cases, to empty your wallets. I go into chats to play or hang out, not because I am part of a friendship club. Exactly. To believe that you could have a YouTube channel and be friends with everybody, know them inside out. I mean, I'd like to think I know a few people on here inside and out. There are very select people. Like I said, I have met them in real life. I've spent time with them. I've spoken behind the scenes. They're friends with me on Facebook or elsewhere. And I've known them for many years. And I would say that they are friends that maybe I could trust. And they would trust me, and they have loyalty in some way to me, vice versa. But sometimes, just sometimes, the loyalty doesn't go both ways. And I'm finding that on YouTube, that some people have opinions on you that really they shouldn't have, because you're meant to be either a part of their group or a friend. And for them to just think that negatively of you can be really, I suppose you could call it surprising, that they would even do a live stream saying that. I can't use names because I don't want to bring attention to it, but I'm making a live stream that uses the topic to go with the event. So if you don't know what the event is, it's I'm not telling you it. I hate YouTube gangs. Yeah, gangs, cults, crews, cribs, whatever you want to call yourselves. This whole little like conglomerate of people, you know, there are lots of groups on YouTube. Some people say that YouTube groups are cults. Other people just say they're hanging out, they're just friends. But the same question is posed. How well do you really know someone on YouTube, even if you spend a lot of your time talking to them? Us Norfolk people have good soul and heart. Don't worry what people say. Hey, Paolo. Us Norfolk people have good soul. We do have good souls. I'd like to think that I am a good person. But there are other people that would believe that I would have some kind of ulterior motive or agenda. Would you believe that? For example, there's a gang, and when fuss and ownership, well, that much is true. No, people have been emancipated. Ooh. Hey, Paolo. But I can't really talk about the other side. I don't really talk about them anymore, because I did say that I wouldn't when I left. I did honor saying I wouldn't talk about them. But there are groups on YouTube that are kind of like a cult environment, who have, 100, 200 followers in their chat at any one time. And no, you probably don't know all of them. Most of them are probably stabbing you in the back as we speak, or they have ulterior motives, or you find that they're talking shit about you in another stream. I know you won't talk about his cult when I say what I want. Oh, no worries, GLM. You can talk in the chat and say your opinion. You can have your opinions, GLM. My platform is a free speech platform. As long as it doesn't get me demonetized, you can pretty much say what you like. But I'd like to think that, I've always been loyal. I've always had people's backs. I've always been trustworthy. And I was for a long time part of a group, if you want to call it, and was trustworthy and loyal. And going into, if you want to call it, a different community, group, whatever, and believing that just maybe they'd have the same faith in you as you have in them. I like to feel that there should be some kind of trust and loyalty between you all. But again, the question of how can you really know someone? Are they right to be skeptical? Are they right to be wary of you? I mean, yes, in a way. You should always watch your own back on YouTube, because there will be people out there that don't have your best interests at heart, who want your channel taken down, who want to hurt you or say bad things or make you have a breakdown. There are people out there like that. And again, inside every person you know, there's a person you don't know. Just because they come on YouTube and create this persona of that they're wonderful, generous, kind, caring, doesn't mean that's the same person they are off YouTube. And I like to think I'm both. That I'm kind, caring, supportive, loyal. And for people to think different, you know, that I could be, you know, up to other things, you know, it doesn't seem right with me. It doesn't sit well. But that's just my opinion. According to some YouTubers I know, you know others well enough to jerk off to each other on cam. Just saying. Wow. That's a strong statement there, Gordy. That's a strong statement there, Joe. I can guess who you heard that from. The American Dream Supreme. One of the people I trust the most is known for being a backstabbing flip-flopper. I don't care about what other people think of him. He's been a good friend to me. Well, that's fair enough then. If you, I mean, you don't have to follow a cult on YouTube or follow a group. I mean, there are some lone wolves on YouTube. Sadly, that comment is good for several people I know. So, I mean, there are people that you may never know on YouTube fully, mind you. There may be people that you think could be your friends, but I guarantee you need to always watch your back on YouTube. I always trust Joe Buddy. Joe Buddy, he's harmless, really. Joe did donate to me last night. Thank you once again, Joe, for your $3. Much appreciated. Last night we were talking about death. Who knew? The chat. Who knew my content could vary so much? Death last night. People you can't trust today. It's a whirlwind of content, mind you. Do I care there's only 4 people in my chat? Do you know what? I honestly don't care. You know, I'd rather have a select few people on here I trust than just, random people. But that's just me. Whether other people think like that, I don't know. I mean, I like having a select few people that I believe would have my back. There are, if you want to call it, groups on YouTube that maybe you couldn't say the same for, that you could even trust just a couple in there. I wish I didn't miss the death stream. Bodacious, it was a epic stream. We talked about death, graveyards, cemeteries, horror movies, necrophilia, the catacombs in France. We talked about morgues. We talked about morticians. We talked about burials. We talked about some amazing content yesterday. You really did miss a good stream, Bodacious. Also, Raven, I am dying from Rona. Did you want me to leave you anything in my will? Oh, GLM, you got the old Rona. I've actually had Corona. I had it for 10 days, and I honestly thought I was going to die. I was so ill. There's actually a 10-day vlog on my channel showing you how sick I really was. I was absolutely dying. And the thing is, I live alone. So I was dying by myself. Just imagine dying by yourself. No one there with you to hold your hand as you're dying. It was a sad story. I survived. But oh my God, if I ever caught it again, I think I'd die. It was a blast, Bodacious. You know, necrophilia, death, dying, morgues, morticians. It was a hoot. It was the best stream I think I'd done in a while, and it was all about death. I whacked that one out. I will leave you my cat. Cat and birds, ravens get along well. Why not? Who doesn't like a cute kitty? And no jokes there. Thank God Gordo's not here. And I do love birds. Birds of a feather stick together, huh? Well, they do on YouTube anyway. But you know, I'd like to think that people are who they say they are on YouTube. A lot of them aren't. A lot of people are probably an entire different person off YouTube, and that's the risk you run of having a YouTube channel or a YouTube community or talking to people outside of YouTube. You never really know who you're really talking to. I mean, I'm talking to Joe and GLM right now, but do I really know them? Probably not. I know Joe's married. I know GLM apparently has cats and birds and is currently dying of corona. I know she has kids. I know Joe has many interests. That's about it. And I've been on YouTube for 5 years. And I would say that I don't know a huge amount about anybody. Because sometimes knowing little about a person is beneficial to you. It is. The less you know, the better sometimes. You don't need to know everything about everybody. I want to be left alone to die, to be honest. There's this kid that keeps asking me for stuff when I just want to curl up in a ball and die. Oh, GLM, I feel sorry for you. When I had corona, I was by myself, and honestly, it took all my effort just to leave the bed to pee. I lost like half a stone while I had corona. I didn't eat. I didn't get out of bed. I think I spent 4 days in my bed, and I was ill as a dog. I lost, I think it was either 6 or 8 pounds. I lost like half a stone while having corona. I felt fucking terrible. It took me 12 days before I went back to work after having it. And I'm terrified now of catching it again because the first time was just horrendous. I really wouldn't want it a second time. Just no. But you know, people are going to say, well, this topic's obviously been brought on by something. And it has. It was brought on by an event that happened last night that I'm not going to go into. And if you know what it is, then you know what it is. But some people on YouTube would believe I would be disloyal, dishonest, untrustworthy, and wouldn't have their best interests. And it sucks, really. It's sometimes only a piece of someone. I tend to show the more positive side online. Well, I'd like to be positive all the time, but sometimes it's just not possible, Bodacious. See how Joe left after I proved him wrong. Well, do you know what? People leave my stream all the time. I'm surprised there's even anyone here right now. I'm surprised no one's left because they're like, oh, Raven's just going on again about blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I streamed, you know, and now I'm streaming again. Big deal. But, you know, it is a very interesting question. Inside every person you know, there's a person you don't know. And there is. There is a person you don't know. There's a person that may or may not actually like you and want the best for you, because there are snakes in the grass out there, and there are people that don't have your back and would literally, you know, walk over you to get to fame and fortune. There just are people like that. I like for people to see the worst in me on YouTube, then I laugh at their reactions. I would say we're two different people, GLM. But I do like your humor. I think you're hilarious sometimes. People do say negative things about you, GLM. I haven't followed you for too long. I've seen you around. Oh, hey, Joe, didn't you see there? You have to be nice to me. I'm dying. Yeah, did you hear her? She's dying. You have to be nice to her. She's on death's door. You can't be mean to a dying woman. Or can you? We're going to see how Joe plays this. Would you say I'm funnier than Joe? Oh, dying. Yeah, she's dying. Gonna emphasize the dying. You know, emphasize that she's dying and that you should feel sorry for her, because I'm almost always nice to Gillian, except when I ranked her on her crazy hot matrix. Laughing things off is good. It is good to have a sense of humor. Don't get me wrong. Laughter cures, well, I wouldn't say cures everything, but laughter can be a nice change to the drama, or to, it can be a nice change. It can be a nicer feeling sometimes to just have a laugh rather than have to beef with people constantly. It can break, the whole monotony of YouTube, of it just being a drama-fueled platform, which it is, mind you. Let's not draw attention to the fact that it isn't when it is. It's a drama-filled platform. It is what it is. It is what it is. YouTube is drama, but there is the funny side of YouTube, which a lot of people don't see, because a lot of people do fixate on, beefing with each other, and that's just a fact of YouTube. But that's because, we beef because we don't know the person who we're beefing with, and we'll dig into their background, their life, their work, their home, who they hang out with on YouTube, and we will scrutinize and pick that shit apart, day in, day out. It doesn't get us anywhere. Believe me, YouTube beefs don't get you anywhere. They take up your time, your effort, your energy, and for what? Nothing really is achieved from the drama. But some people use that drama to really get to the core person that you are inside. Don't say to me what you wouldn't want me doing to you. You get the point. Can't type. I'm dying. GLM's just going to dedicate the entire chat to her because she can't type. Maybe she get the cat to type. Maybe the cat would come out and make more sense than GLM. Or get the bird to type, Fucking Morse code that out with the bird. Send a carrier pigeon with the mail, yeah? You get my point. I do get your point. Yeah, do unto me as you would do unto others. A good rule on YouTube is that if you wouldn't want someone saying shit about you, don't say shit about other people. Or as they say, what you put out into the world, you get back. GLM says she's dying, Raven. Oh, come on. I was talking about death yesterday. GLM should have been there. She could have learned something about being on death's door. I did a stream yesterday about dying. GLM could have learned about it. She could have learned about her burial, her cremation, how to go out with a bang. I didn't make her ill. I'm disappointed. Hey, Jay. Hey, Rum. Why not laugh? Laugh in the face of death. Go out with a smile on your face. If she'd have been here yesterday, I could have taught her a lot. How to die with dignity, how to embalm her body, how she'd be buried, ways of burying her. We were even talking about dissection, Jesty, and necrophilia. I mean, I could have filled her in on a lot of stuff as she's dying. It could have been need to know information. She could have really have been, interested. She's gonna hate me now. Joe, I'm an a-hole. I really can't get mad about some deaf jokes at my expense. Oh, GLM. what can I say? What can I say? I think I've dug myself a hole, a literal hole. But that's funny in its own way, mind you. Joe will say Donna, Raven, crazy, whatever my name is today. There you go. Doxed myself. People know my real name anyway. I have a second video coming because many people were missing J-Rom. Oh, really? Is that another one of your old school rehashes? That's nice. What can I say? I don't know. I'm out of words. I think I've done well on this subject, talking about the fact that you can't trust everybody you meet on YouTube, and the fact that do we really know people that we meet, even if we do hang out with them constantly or behind the scenes. Can you really know somebody? The answer would be no. No. I'm actually enjoying the dying bit. It's one of the few things that makes me happy right now. I'm a sick and twisted woman. Oh, you haven't met me, GLM. You have no idea. I am definitely a twisted person and sick-minded. We were talking about necrophilia yesterday and dissections. If you don't think I'm weird or crazy, you will at some point. But that's just me. I have a twisted, sick humor. That's not to everybody's tastes, mind you. I must admit, not to everybody's tastes. And I don't expect everybody to like me. And that is the glory of going on YouTube with an open mind. GLM says she's freaky in bed in the bondage sense. Well, if she is, then kudos to her. Here's Joe Buddy trying to, freak me out, weird me out. You have no idea, Joe. As I would say, I may be like this on YouTube, but this isn't who I am off YouTube. Entirely different person, mind you. There are two Ravens, effectively. There's Raven of YouTube, and then there's Raven behind the scenes in my real life. Raven, you misread. GLM's Raven says she's freaky in bed in the bondage sense. So, I bet GLM's a bit freaky as well. Don't you misread that, Joe. GLM's freaky too. Joe seems very interested in Raven in bed. Tell us more about Raven in bed. Joe knows nothing. Joe knows very little of me outside YouTube, and that's why I like to keep it like that. I have selective people that I talk to about stuff like that. It's not a topic for YouTube. I don't know any more than that. See? You can't reveal everything on YouTube, because apparently it can become the butt of a joke, can be used against you. This is also work Raven. Most people have a professional mode. Oh, there's also work Raven. Yeah, I'm a very hard worker, and I've also just had a promotion. So we just had a promotion at work. So tip my own hat to myself. Yeah, there's a work Raven. There's a Raven for my family. There's a Raven online. There's a work Raven. There are many sides of me, but they are kind of all the same. But obviously in work, I have to be a little bit more professional than I am on YouTube. But I have just gained a promotion at work. I know. My hard work pays off. Thank you, Bodacious, for the congratulations. Yeah, I tip my own hat to having my own promotion. I worked long and hard to get it, mind you. It's going to give me a little bit of extra money, a little bit of extra hours. But to be fair, I already get paid for doing YouTube. I'm monetized, so I already have another income aside from working. And I also have a Facebook marketplace business as well. So I am an entrepreneur. And technically YouTube, as well as being a hobby, is also kind of a business as well. It's kind of a two-way thing. Although I don't need to run a YouTube channel to make money, having some AdSense each month, a few donations, it is good for your channel. Remember to go treat yourself. Oh, I will do. My first new paycheck, I will make sure to treat myself, Bodacious. Don't you worry. Good evening, Gemma. We are talking about whether we really know somebody on YouTube. How well can you really know the people that you hang out with? Inside every person you know, there's a person you don't know. And Gemma will obviously know the story behind this. It was an event that happened today, and I'm making a live stream loosely based on not being able to trust the people that you have on YouTube. My kid just asked me to get him some s'mores. He's now on punishment and doesn't know why. That's a good question. Yes, I know. Yeah. So inside every person, there is someone you don't know. I've been talking about loyalty, Gemma. Can you really know someone on YouTube? Do you have belief and faith and trust in your moderators that you have? Can you honestly say that you trust everybody that you've met on YouTube and that you know everything? I think it's the same in real life. How well do you know your friends? Yeah. How can you really know somebody that you've met on YouTube, let alone in real life? I've met people in real life. Use Gordo as an example. Most of people in here will know Gordo. I met Gordo in real life. I traveled 300 miles to meet him, and I met him and a bunch of other people. We hung out for the day. We had lunch. I talked to Gordo behind the scenes. We've been friends for must be, I want to say 4 years, give or take. And we know quite a lot about each other, but there is still stuff that I wouldn't tell him because you just don't tell. Is Gordo fat? Gordo isn't fat. No, he's got kind of I suppose you could call him a regular size man. He's not fat. Just in case you're wondering, GLM. There's actually a video. I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but there's actually a video of me and Gordo and a couple of other people when we did a YouTube hangout. There was Jeanette Pickering, there was Gordo, there was Emily Bird. There was a few of us that met up. Gordo means fat in Spanish, so I always assume him as a fatty. Well, Gordo's not fat. Gordo is a regular size man, if you want to call him that. A regular size man. He's not buff, but he's not fat. However you want to call that. Like just a normal sized man. Hope I did Gordo justice there, because I haven't seen Gordo in a couple of years. We met, maybe nearly 3 years ago, I think, give or take. So it must be at least 2-3 years since I've met Gordo in real life. But we do chat behind the scenes, mind you. He should change his name to Regularo. But yeah, my question of do we know everyone? It's a good thing to look at, because you have to be careful what you tell people on YouTube, how much you give out, how much you tell them, how much you relay information. Do you want everybody knowing everything about you? Your name, where you live, who your partner is, your kids, your relationship status, things that you're interested in, things that you're doing. You know, there are many YouTubers who have been stalked, killed, harassed, trolled, murdered, you name it. They've been doxxed, they've been swatted, they've had pizza sent to their house, they've had death threats. Sometimes it's good on YouTube to keep some things close to you. You know, they do say keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. I would say keep your enemies close to you so you can see and hear what they're doing. It is good to have someone close to them to keep an eye on them, mind you. Can someone send me a pizza? I'd love some pizza. Anyone want to send me a pizza? I'd be up for that. I could do with a pizza. If I'm honest, I'd love a pizza right now. If anyone wants to come up and share their opinions, Gemma, I don't know if you're free on how much trust there is on YouTube, or even how much you trust people off of YouTube. You know, trust can be thrown around in many ways, and you know, loyalty is a thing that most people don't have on YouTube. It depends how well you trust people. How much faith do you put in somebody having your back, or knowing you can trust them with secrets, or knowing you can trust them to have your back in a situation, or just knowing that that person has your back in a situation. I don't keep my enemies close. I just don't care what they do. Out of sight, out of mind. I will talk shit if the opportunity arises. Otherwise, I really don't think about them. Well, there's also that way of doing things. I smoke too much weed to be organized against the enemy. She's like, I'm being trolled. That's nice. And of course, you're dying. You haven't really got time for trolls. Even with people, it's best to control what you put out there. Even family can screw you over. Yeah, they do say the people closest to you can be the people that'll fuck you over first. People will fuck you over for many reasons: fame, fortune, friends. Half of the time I forget who I had problems with. You need to keep a list, GLM. You need to keep a list of people you've pissed off in the last 24 hours. Have some kind of like top 10 list of who GLM has offended in the last day. And have like a top 10 list of people that you've offended. Maybe you wouldn't have offended 10 people in one day. I mean, that would take a lot of your time. Maybe a top 3. 3 people you've offended in the last 24 hours, and just keep a little list. You know, your prime targets for the day. That list is just so long. Oh, GLM. You need to try and be friends with people. I know that's hard. But it is hard to trust people on YouTube. It is hard to like people, trust, build a friendship, have some faith in them, or have loyalty with them. You are in every right to have some distrust for people, or be paranoid that they don't have your back. You know, it's like any normal person would have. Just because we're YouTubers doesn't mean we're different to anybody else. You know, we're just all people at the end of the day. Whether you have a massive channel following or whether you have a small one, there are people out there that will troll you, not have your back, want to think the worst of you. And that's just how YouTube is. YouTube is a inevitable minefield of people. I trust you, Raven. Well, thank you, Gemma. I'd like to think I can trust people that I talk to on YouTube and off of YouTube. I'd like to think that people have trust in me as well. Trust is a two-way street, I believe. If you trust somebody else wholeheartedly, you would like to think that they would trust you too. Whether it's on YouTube or whether it's talking to them off YouTube, that you could trust them to keep secrets, talk to you behind the scenes and not tell the world stuff, or have your back in a situation. Just mitigate the risks and have a plan should things turn sour. That's all. I trust pizza. We're following a theme here. I'm going to need a pizza at this rate. Mitigate the risks. Holy shit. And have a plan should things turn sour. Exactly. If you're going to put something out there about you on YouTube, good or bad. I mean, I did an entire stream yesterday on death. If people want to come at me and say, you know, this raving chick, she was talking about death yesterday. She's obviously depressed, morbid. She sits around in graveyards. She must be sad, lonely, and all of that. Then so be it. My plan, if things turn sour like that, would be, you know what? Actually, I couldn't give a shit. Yeah, I sit in the graveyard. Yes, I talk about death. Wow. You know, sticks and stones will hurt me, but God, Jesus, if I had a boring life like you, that would hurt me more. You know, just my personal opinion. Pizza has never let me down. Do you know what? I can safely say that I've never been let down by a pizza, but I've been let down by a pizza delivery guy who delivered my pizza to the wrong place, and pizza violated my trust in 2011. You know, delivery guys are the bane of my existence. I live in a flat, and can the fucker find out where I live? The worst people on these planets are people on their little motorbikes delivering pizzas who can't find your house, even though I live in a flat and it's quite clearly stated that it's a flat, and they're like, well, I can't see your place. It's a flat, you dork. But that's just my personal opinion. But anyone wants to send me a pizza, I'd be very grateful right now. I am absolutely starving. But I might live stream some more this week. I actually have, wait for it, drum roll, 4 days off this week. 4. You can't see my fingers. I have 4 days off. I am off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I was thinking of maybe doing another live stream at some point during those 4 days, if anyone would be interested. If the pizza place undercooks the stuff and don't clean, you can get very ill. But I love pizza though. Mamma mia, Italian stuffed crust, melty cheese pizza. Oh, God, I need a pizza. Someone buy me a pizza. Pizza gods. Could you just like have a pizza accidentally delivered to my house right now? I have a confession. Ooh, confession. I don't really like pizza. Wow. Just stick the nail in the coffin there. But I eat spicy Thai curry until I explode. It's a problem. Ooh. Okay. We need to analyze this. So the confession is that you don't like pizza. See, that kind of thing means that we probably can't be friends, GLM, because I am like the pizza queen. And you eat spicy Thai curry until you explode. I would buy a stronger toilet, GLM. Oh, dear God. I don't like most Italian food. Bruschetta is yummy, though. Oh, you got to eat bruschetta, lasagna, pizza, pasta. Holy shit, Italian food is good. Parang, I think I said that nice. Penang curry is quite good. Did I say that right? I think I said it right. I love pizza. Me too, Gemma. Me too. I'm going to have to come and visit you, Gemma, and we're going to have pizza. No, not bathroom explosion. Girls don't poop. Oh, of course. Okay, they don't. It just poops out rainbows, right? Rainbows and fairy dust. But we're going to have to meet, Gemma. I'm going to have to arrange to meet you at some point, and we're going to have pizza, because that's the only way we can meet, Gemma, is if we have pizza. You know, hell yeah, Raven. We're going to have pizza. I mean, it's been decided. The pizza gods have spoken. We need pizza. I don't know where you live, Gemma. You'll have to message me behind the scenes, whatever town you're in. And down the road, maybe, I could come and visit you, Gemma. I could stay the night in a hotel. We could hang out. We could live stream together. Oh my God, that would be so much fun. Chicken masala is yum. Homemade pasta is delightful. Do you know, my favorite pasta is a nice carbonara pasta bake. My mouth is watering. Oh, Oh my God. GLM, you have awoken the pasta demon. The Italian, the Italian pizza demon is in full force. Let's organize it behind the scenes. Yes, Gemma. We need me, Gemma, and a pizza place. I love pizza and Italian so badly it hurts my stomach to think of pizza and pasta and bruschetta and French. Oh, just. But I also like French food as well. I love French food as well, like a nice croissant, nice French bread, French pastry. Oh, their cheeses. Oh my God, I'm so fucking hungry. We're getting off topic here. We're talking about disloyalty. And apparently pizza has been disloyal to people in the future. Port wine with pasta sounds good. I was a waitress at an Italian restaurant in college. No more Italian food. GLM doesn't poop. Does she not? Fair enough. What the hell is French food? What do you mean, what the hell is French food? French bread, croissants, escargot. Escargot. Raven mod chat. No, Joe, they don't. What? Apparently they don't poop. Apparently GLM said no. Some bread, some pastries. Escargot is French. Onion soup is French. There are a lot of French foods out there. You can have snails. Snail meat is great. Apparently, Bodacious says. There are beautiful, beautiful French cheeses, French pastries, macarons, especially. Oh my God, macarons are so tasty. If you've never had a macaroon or a macaron or however you want to pronounce it, oh my God, they are so tasty. GLM, I wonder what all that stinky stuff was in my daughter's diaper. Ew. That is called a natural explosion. Yeesh. Oh, snails, that sounds wonderful. Rolling my eyes. Have you never tried escargot, GLM? Or how about calamari? Ever had calamari? There's also calamari, which is French. Who doesn't like some nice calamari? You're going to say no. And you'd be quite in your right to say no. Why would you want to eat calamari? I mean, nothing wrong with it. How about caviar? You want to go weird with the old food? How about caviar? It was probably your son putting it in there. He's a little trickster. I missed the crepe cart we had in uni. We actually have a new place down the road from where I live called Sugar Rush. And it does milkshakes, waffles, crepes, and ice cream. And it is absolutely to die for. I've had a waffle there recently. The pictures are on my Instagram if you follow me there. It was so sweet and so flaky, the waffle. They do crepes, they do ice creams, they do milkshakes. It is absolutely to die for. Girls don't poop. Did you hear her, Joe? Girls don't poop, okay? You're just going to have to accept that girls don't poop. GLM has spoken. GLM has spoken. Savory crepes versus sweet. Oh, it's gotta be a sweet crepe. It's gotta be a sweet. My favorite one would be a berry crepe, which is blueberries, raspberries, strawberries with a chocolate sauce over a fluffy crepe or a fluffy pancake. I know how to treat myself, should we say? And how to treat myself, basically. basically. So what you're telling me is that you girls hold it in and we are full of, well, I mean, the shoe fits, Joe. Crepes are good. I love a nice pancake, a nice crepe, but it's got to be a sweet crepe. I'm not in for these savory breakfast pancakes, really, or savory crepes. Got to be sweet. Sweet's the only way to go. Chocolate, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, the whole sweet thing, because I'm just not sweet enough. Raven, I think we know each other very well. Well, I'd like to think so too, Gemma. Going to exercise. All right, thank you, Bodacious. I hope I haven't given you a craving for pizza too much if you plan to go exercise, or maybe, just maybe, exercise and then have a pizza. Why not? Raven, I think we know each other very well. I read that. I just read it again because it was so informative. We break down our food so well that it turns into liquid and we pee it out. Duh. Yeah, Joe. Trust Joe to not know basic biology. Who knew? Who knew you were so lax on the biology, Joe? I kid you. I kid you not, people. Having a sense of humor is what I do. It's not to everyone's taste, mind you. But if you'd like to pay for my sense of humor, my link to my PayPal is there. Or if you'd like to give me a super chat or a super fuck knows whatever it is now you give people, super like, super whatever, or a super chat, that would be amazing just to help me finance my life. Hi, Raven. Will Eli's lady be joining you today? No. She got exiled from the Lycan Legion. Oh, the shame. I think I'll get over it, Joe. I thought about Joe when I was making breakfast. What? Okay, this is going to be interesting. I made hash browns and put jalapenos, habanero, and Thai chili peppers in. Joe's voice was in my head saying, "That's too hot." What? Really? Okay. I can honestly say I don't think of Joe in the morning or at night or in general. But maybe have some therapy, GLM. Maybe some therapy. I need therapy. Joe's paying for it. He did donate to my therapy fund yesterday to cure me of my obsession with death. It's an ongoing therapy, over the next few months and years, and we may get there. Habaneros, ouch, like damn. I think a lot of Joe. I love Joe. Oh, I think we all love Joe a little bit. Joe is the life and soul of the chat, isn't he? He fills that little gap that we have. You're gonna say that I'm mocking you now, Joe? Slightly. But I do have a wicked sense of humor, or as most people will tell you, twisted. Either way. But yes, if you'd like to donate to my therapy fund, link to PayPal or Super Chat is in the thing. Joe donated yesterday to my therapy fund because he believes I need some, and he's probably not wrong. It was really good. The Thai peppers are way more spicy than the habanero. I'm sure I'm saying that right. Habanero. If I'm not, then tough shit, really. I can only read the chat. It's not telling me how to say it. It's a weird scenario. First, we were talking about trust and loyalty. Then GLM dissed pizza. We went into an Italian rant. And now we're talking about how much GLM loves Joe and how she thinks about him. I mean, how the conversation has changed. Joe has never given me money, not once. Oh, you said it right. Oh, phew. Don't want to look stupid on YouTube because, there's always a first. You gotta treat people on YouTube like the Russians. Trust but verify. Yeah, there is that. To be fair, I'd never trust anyone entirely on YouTube. Even people like Gordo that I've met in real life, I wouldn't trust 100%. And I've met Gordo, but I'd have some faith in him. Raven, check your messages. On where? Check my messages where, Gemma? Like, behind the scenes. Oh, hang on. Hang on a sec. 2 seconds. Sorry, I had to look at something behind the scenes. We weren't talking about that joke. Pretty young woman, about 18 years old, doxed herself by giving her general location and mentioning the current weather. Seriously, you can dox yourself that easily? Some stalkers were able to piece together where she lived and prove she vanished off of YouTube. I mean, it's not technically a literal dox. If I said that I lived in the UK and then I lived 50 miles from Norwich, could you narrow down my location by that very small thing? If I said I lived in the UK, I was 50 miles from Norwich, and it is currently raining, do you think you could find out where I lived? He was able to find her exact town and scared her off YouTube. Ooh, well, I've told people what town I live in. I've even shown the outside of my house at some point. And maybe they found her and she vanished from the earth. Maybe she was abducted by aliens. Why not? I mean, the craziest shit has happened. Now she popped back up some years later. So that story was hers in her own words. Oh, fair enough. Well, I mean, you do have to be careful what you give out. If you give out your hometown, say, you know, oh, I live in the UK, that's a very big, broad area. So if I say I'm from the UK, you know, you're going to find it hard to find where I live. If I was if I was to say I lived in the UK, you'd find it hard to find me. The UK is a massive place. It's no different to Joe saying, you know, I live in America, or I live in Australia, or I live wherever. You know, if I was to say, well, I live in the UK, but I live in the East, could you still find me then? That would narrow your search down, but it wouldn't necessarily give you my address and where I lived. So if you narrow it down even further, so I live in the UK, I live in the east of the UK, and I live in a county called Norfolk. That might give you some idea of where I live, but Norfolk is still a pretty big county. You're talking, you know, hundreds of thousands of people living in that one tiny county. So really, the guy that found her, apart from being a genius, had some really brief, if you want to call it, information about her. I mean, I've given out my hometown loads of times. Everybody knows I live in Swaffham, UK. I've said it numerous times and mentioned it. I've even mentioned some brief location points. that I live near a truck stop, that I live near an industrial estate. Do I care how much people know about me? I guess not. To be fair to that lady, I don't want people knowing even which city I live in either. Nobody knows where I live, but everyone thinks they do. All you need to know is it's the Bay Area. See, I told people where I live because a good portion of people that I talk to live in America. They're not really coming to find my house, find where I live. And to be fair, I don't do enough shit on YouTube to get that kind of backlash. Why would anyone care where Raven is? I mean, I'm a blip on the face of YouTube. No one has that many beefs to need to find me. GLF needs a video to Donna Summer's Bad Girl. I would admit that I do live very close to Eli's Park. Well, you live in the Bay Area. If someone, the thing is, if someone really wants to find you, they will. You don't have to give out any information on YouTube and someone will still find you, because there are some people out here, like I said, how well do you know somebody? How much information do you give out on YouTube to people who supposedly, whether they are mods, whether they're in your chat that you have a conversation with, whether you can trust people enough to give out that much information? GLM, if you rent a PT Cruiser and show it, it would be the funniest video. I have to laugh at that. That is an ongoing joke. Jesus. That shit will never die, will it? But the information you give out on YouTube, you have to be careful. I mean, I've told people where I live, and I honestly don't care. If anyone hates me that much to find where I live, I mean, that's entirely up to them, I guess. They can't find me where I have massive security and have misled people constantly about where I am. You don't have to tell people where you are, GLM. People know I'm in the UK. I do say I'm in the UK. And I do say that I live in Swaffham. I have shown the view from my window before. But if people are that desperate to find you, they'll find you whether I take a picture of my house and put it online, or whether I give out my address in full. If people want to find you, they will find you. That's how YouTube is. If people seek out a person, they will go to the ends of the earth to find you. So whether you tell them where you live, or you let slip that you're near a park, or like you said, you're in the Bay Area, how much could you trust people that you tell where you live off stream? Say you have friends that you talk to off stream. Say maybe you talked to Joe behind the scenes. You met him on YouTube, you talked to Joe behind the scenes. Could you trust Joe to tell him where you live? How much trust would you put in people before telling them everything? Telling them your address, what your kids' names are, where you're from. Dive into maybe telling him about your workplace or what you do at the weekends. You never know who you're talking to. Even off stream, you don't know who you're talking to fully. If they're YouTube people, you have to keep some things to yourself. If you put yourself all out there, you do make it easier for people to find you. But putting nothing out there as well doesn't mean that they're just not going to find you. It just means then people are going to have to try a little harder. No one ever gives me credit for my good behavior. My dad's grave is minutes from Eli's Park, and I haven't gone to the park at all. Ooh, really? Wow. My name and address is already out there. Yeah, I didn't see the harm in putting my name, my address. I mean, I'm friends with quite a few people on Facebook from YouTube. Gemma's one of them as an example. We're friends on Facebook. She knows my real name. She doesn't necessarily know where I live. She knows probably the town I live in, the country I live in. There are some things I keep to myself, like any normal person. And I trust Joe with my address. I haven't given it to him, but if he got it, I wouldn't worry. You know, you have to have faith in people. You have to believe that not every person you come across on YouTube has a negative way towards you. You have to believe that people that come in your chat, watch your content, comment on your videos, are in your Discord or in your mod group, or you meet in real life, you can trust, that you could literally tell anything to, maybe not anything, but within reason, that you could trust them with secrets or where you live. Or if you're like me, I have children. Some people know my kids' names and stuff like that. They just got mad about me going to the park once 2 years ago. I was just over there last week and I didn't go to the damn park. See, people will draw their own narrative on a situation and put their own spin on it. I mean, if you don't want to reveal where you live, GLM, don't. Who cares where you live? Like I said, if people want to find you, they'll find you, GLM. It's no different to anyone on YouTube. I mean, people will go to the ends of the earth to find you if they really want. They will stalk you, harass you. They will go to your friends, your family. You know, Ted Bundy was friendly, just saying. Yeah, serial killers are the most friendliest people you will ever meet. Some of the most deadliest serial killers were the friendliest people you will find on God's green earth, I tell you. Stop saying people will find me. Raven the Blackbird. Hello all. Hello, Raven. Raven the Blackbird has a channel. It's not me typing in the chat, I promise you. My hands are here. Raven the Blackbird is actually another YouTuber. He just likes the fact that it's a raven, and I don't blame him because ravens are awesome. Ravens are awesome, mind you. Speaking from, for myself. People find whoever, GLM. Eventually someone will find out where JB is, or people will find out, you know, where other people are. If people want to find you, they find you. Some people out there are crazy. My kids requested Ted Bundy's last meal for breakfast. We quite enjoyed Ted Bundy's last meal. Bundy had great taste in food. Well, he had great taste in women until he murdered them. Just saying. I mean, stop saying we will be found. Okay, you won't be found. Ever. No one in the history of the world will ever find where GLM lives. Even Santa doesn't deliver presents to her because she's so off the map. The Easter Bunny, he just gave up looking for where she lived. And don't even get me started, you know, when we murdered that breakfast. Yeah, the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, never been to GLM's house. She's so far off the map and in hiding. No one ever comes to her house. Even the pizza guy just dumps the pizza on the end of the street and is like, look, lady, I don't know where you live, all right? Just come get your pizza. That's how under the radar she is. I have a bad sense of humor. A bad sense of humor. Yes. As Joe Buddy pointed out, serial killers could be the most friendliest people. The most friendliest people you'll ever meet, and unsuspecting they were murderers. So, like I said, you never know a person. I mean, take Ted Bundy as an example. Ted Bundy was a serial killer, yes, but he was a guy that walked around on crutches with a pretend cast on his leg. He was struggling with some shopping bags. The girl offered to help him with the shopping bags. She thought, oh, this is a nice thing. I'll help this man. He takes her to the car. He pushes her in the car. He kidnaps her and he murders her. Is the girl at fault for thinking that this man on crutches needed her help? No, but Ted Bundy was a mastermind at playing on the fact that a woman would see that he needed help and would help him. So he's a friendly but very intelligent man. And as a serial killer, he was slightly off his rocker, but who isn't? Steak, medium rare, eggs over easy, hash browns, milk, juice, toast with jelly and butter. Sounds to die for, doesn't it? Actually sounds to die for. Ted Bundy's last meal was like the best. But yeah, Ted was smart. He used the fact that he could play on an unsuspecting victim using being friendly and seeming like a good guy from the outside to play on the woman, reel her in, lure her into a false sense of security, believing that a guy on crutches couldn't pose a threat to her, and then turning out to be a mass serial killer. Who knew? GLM, with the internet, people can find people and will be able to locate you on the internet. I mean, there is that. I mean, as we've discussed, people will find people if they so wish. Joe can help me with the groceries. I have a broken leg. Yeah. It's the most unsuspecting thing that you don't see. Sometimes the most nicest people are the most underhanded, conniving, conspiring, and devilish people you will ever meet. There's a thing of the being too nice syndrome. That people are like, well, he's just being nice, isn't he? He's just being friendly. And then he turns out to be a serial killer. God damn it. Stop saying people will find me. Yeah, Raven. I'm telling myself off now, apparently. I don't know if Joe would help you with the groceries. He'd probably laugh at you and go, you know what? Help yourself. Modern day women, help yourself. You don't need men. But that's just my personal opinion. But, inside every person, see ya. I'm going to mow the grass with little Joe. Oh, well, have fun, Joe. Have a good afternoon or where you are. Go let little Joe help you mow your lawn. Sounds like lots of fun. I don't even have a garden, so that's me out of mowing the lawn. I have a gardener who does my community garden, so no lawn cutting for me. Little Joe put the poop in his sister's diaper. Oh, you two are so funny. You make my chat fun. Joe and his little quirks and GLM pooping rainbows. Who knew my chat could be so exciting? But my point of this stream was to prove that you can never really know somebody, even if, and that's a big if, you spend your time with them on and off YouTube, or you dedicate your time to building a relationship with them. It still doesn't mean you know everything about a person. And you know what? I don't want to know everything about a person. The worst thing you can have is information. Information is a killer. Knowing too much about somebody can be bad for you because then you become a target. If someone's trying to get to somebody else, worst case scenario is they go for you because they can't get to the person they want. They go for friends, family, and the more information you have, the more of a risk you pose. Joe and Aristotle are two of my favorite people on YouTube. They always make me laugh. Well, that's good, GLM, because laughter is medicine. And with you dying, you probably need some. GLM needs to joke because if she don't joke, she'll cry, curl into a ball and die. GLM, I found your channel. Yeah, GLM is fun. GLM is a bag of laughs. I don't care about people, no information. I just want to hang out and chill with my people. Yeah. I've never really been to your channel, GLM. I've seen some videos, but I've seen you around YouTube in some channels, should we say. Usually you're having beefs with people. And there seems to be a lot of drama. But, sometimes a bit of drama is fun. I'm not the first person to be part of drama and probably won't be the last. I don't see the harm in a bit of drama now and then. It does break up your content and it does break up the monotony of YouTube. Raven Blackbird, as long as you don't find my house. Yeah, you can find a channel, but her house is off limits. And it's not as the Raven flies to find her house. I don't have beefs. I just talk shit and people get mad. The thing with YouTube is that people will always have different opinions. No one's ever going to see 100% eye to eye with people. And to be fair, that makes good content. Because if everyone had the same opinion, no one would ever do a live stream that had a topic, because it would be a one-sided conversation or a one-sided argument. No one really comes on YouTube to debate me, because honestly, it wouldn't be worth their time. A lot of people don't debate me on YouTube or have a different opinion, because in all honesty, it would be hard to change my opinion on something. I'm very stuck in my ways, I must admit. But they can try. But I've had selective beefs on YouTube, or selective talks on YouTube, I would say, like loosely. But I don't mean people talking shit about me just when they get so butthurt and stream and carry on about it. It appears to be a beef. Yeah. I mean, I've had a roast on me before. That was quite hilarious. I didn't even strike that because it was just so meh. Obviously, another group did a video on me before. That was a bit meh, if I'm honest. Honestly, I've never striked anyone on YouTube for anything they put out there. Because honestly, I've only ever really beefed with maybe 2 people. And even that was a bit lame, really. Not even worth making a video on. But still, made a video. Never really talk shit about people. RJ, I talk shit about him. Eli, I've talked shit about him before. There aren't a lot of people I've talked shit about, and I must admit, for it to bite me in the ass. I don't watch hate streams. I just go check to see how long the stream was, and I laugh that people dedicate that kind of time to my dumb ass. I mean, there are people out there that can go for like 4 or 5 hours berating one person on maybe one situation, and they'll go hell for leather on it. I mean, fuck me, there are people that have done days of live streams rehashing the same thing, beefing with the same person, and just going like on and on and on. And it's like, oh my God, how can you hate somebody this much? But I guess it is possible to have that much hate, to dedicate that much time. If they feel so strongly about whatever it is, I guess there is that much hatred towards the person that they feel are right, or they're like entitled to be for that person for so long. I mean, as you would say, you wouldn't be the first person that's had an entire hate stream dedicated to you. But I guess that just shows, the true colors of the person, I guess. People like hate streams. They like debates. They like bash streams. They like drama. And that's why I say, don't turn around and give out so much information to people that they can use against you. You had a 7-hour stream about you. I ain't got that kind of time to watch that shit, but I love that we ruined their entire day. yeah, it is surprising how some people can go, whether it's a few hours, a few days, or even a few weeks, carrying on the same thing for views, attention, and all that. I enjoy the attention, not gonna lie. I mean, Shangy roasted me a while ago. That was quite funny. Lycan obviously did a video on me. Was a bit nah, really. Didn't really have anything to beef with me about, if I'm honest. It was more playground antics, if you want to call it that. But honestly, if someone's got that much time to dedicate 7 hours of their day to you, I mean, either they really are butthurt, or it's an obsession, or they just don't have a life. I mean, it can only be one of three, really. No one's going to hate somebody that much that they dedicate all that time, you would think. But there are people out there that do that. Some people will go weeks with the same drama. Whether they enjoy it, the attention, the views, the money, who knows? But that's why I say, don't give out too much information. Let the trolls, the people that hate you, work to get the information. J-Ram actually deals with me in the appropriate way. He wears me down with his meh attitude towards my trolling. I can't troll a meh attitude. Yeah, if people don't, rise to the trolling and go with it, they've got nothing to work on. And their attitude to trolls coming in here and saying this, that, and the other, and I'm like, yeah, okay, right, and just glazing over it, they're going to get nothing from me. So like you said, if you get trolling and you just get meh while being, while you're trolling people, people come in here and say something about it and you're like, nah, well, and just move on. Trolling doesn't really faze me. I've had things said about me, and do I really care? Not really. Nothing really phases me, to be honest. Nothing. I don't think there's a thing a troll could say that would really faze me, if I'm honest. When people get upset by me, it feeds my trolling. Yeah, the more people get triggered, if you want to use that lame term, the more it files a troll up. To be fair, the worst thing you can do to a troll is ignore them. Starve them, ignore them, pretend they don't even exist in the chat, don't even delete their comment. The best thing to do with the troll is not to delete their comment, not to read it, not to acknowledge it, and just pretend they don't exist. A troll will get bored if they're starved of attention. But you delete that comment or read it out, you're playing straight into their hands because you gave them that tiny little airtime. You have a meh attitude toward my trolling as well, so now I just come and hang out. Exactly. You've tried to troll me, GLM. I did see a video you did of me. Kudos to you. But I have a meh attitude. I do. I just don't care about trolling. It doesn't faze me. I've told people where I live. I told people what country I'm in. Some people know my real name. It's meh. What are you going to do? I'm single. I live alone. What's the worst that you could do to me? Send me a pizza. I mean, please do. Any trolls out there want to send me a pizza? I'd love one. But, what could anybody else, personally do to me that hasn't already been said on YouTube? Yeah, but you didn't care, and I like you more than James, so it was pointless. Well, thank you, Jilla. Do you know, honestly, you make a video, I'm not bothered. I really aren't. Life's too short to care. I didn't care. I never flagged anyone. I didn't flag Shangy. I've never flagged you. I didn't even flag Jamie, and he dedicated literally a stream to me. I just don't care. And that's what pisses them off even more. I didn't care. I didn't flag them. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I even went in Shangy's chat while he was roasting me. Like, come on. My Met attitude, I sat in Shangy's chat while he was roasting me, just listening to her and talking in the chat. And I did the same thing when Jamie did a stream on me. I went in the chat and I was just chatting. I mean, come on. Pointless fucking videos. And I just sat in there talking like, yeah, okay, whatever. Well, that channel that I made the video of you is gone now anyway. Well, I don't care if it's up, GLM. Like I said, Shangy made a video on me. I believe Shangy's took it down. He had said he would. Whether he has or not, I don't know. And honestly, I don't care. It's a video. He made it. He had a point to prove at the time. He made his point. He felt he was justified. So leave it up. Take it down. See if I'm bothered. I mean, honestly, life is too short to care about one insignificant troll on YouTube making a video of you. It's a very mute point. For me, anyway. I don't know about anybody else, but I was just like, I even sat in the chat, was chatting to them. Like, I'd go to Shangy's now. I sit in Shangy's chat now. Do I care he made a video on me? Absolutely not. I've even got a mod wrench in Shangy's. Like, work that shit out. You know, 1 week he's trolling me. The next, I've got a mod wrench in his chat. You know, you couldn't make this shit up. No, I haven't been back to Lycans. I don't need to go back there. I'm quite happy where I am. But I'm sure that video is still up because it makes him views, it makes him money, and honestly, I don't care. I didn't flag anyone because I just don't care. You know, knowing, like I said, people appear on YouTube as they want to appear. Some are snakes in the grass, but you'll find that out eventually. Inside every person you know, there's a person you don't know, and that's 100% true. You will never know everybody on YouTube 100%. It's not possible. You can put every faith in knowing somebody. You can know literally everything about a person inside and out and wholly believe they would have your back and be friends with you and everything. Shangy called my job and told them I torture animals. You did make a video, was it on rabbits, apparently? Haha, he is on a quest to get my professional license removed. Oh. Was it something about killing rabbits there was a video of, I believe? Was it rabbits? I want to say rabbits. I could be wrong. Might be a different animal. But I guess that's crossing the fine line between a YouTube beef and taking it real life, which I don't agree with. I don't agree with doxing or calling people's work or swatting them or anything like that. I think once you take a beef off YouTube, you've kind of lost your marbles a bit. You know, a YouTube beef, just delete them. Don't talk to them. Pretend they don't exist. You really have to go like full on real life. I work in severe mental health. Myself and co-workers get calls like that from clients all the time. Oh, okay. I mean, there are some people out there like that, you know, that will try and, it was a clip of humane rabbit kills. I got the video from YouTube. Oh, okay. I mean, I've never seen an animal being killed. I will admit that. But I do eat meat. I'm not vegetarian, but I mean, each to their own, I guess. I couldn't watch something like that personally. I hate the fact that I eat meat, but I also can't be vegetarian due to health reasons. I have to eat meat in its actual form, if you want to call it. but the whole killing of the animals would be a bit much for me, mind you. I must say. He's going to get my license revoked by sounding like a mental health client. That's maybe going a bit too far. You know, taking stuff into real life, just watch the video, I will make it public. Okay. I can try and watch it. I don't have a nervous disposition, but I eat meat because I have to, not because I want to. It's more of a health thing that I have to eat meat. But I'll watch it, GLM. You put it up, I'll watch it. Is that a reason to lose your job though, just because you put a video up on YouTube? It seems a very petty situation. But there are people out there that can take just a tiny little thing and make it just a massive thing. I have B12 deficiency. I eat a lot of meat. I have a B12 deficiency. I'm iron deficient. I have a lot that my body doesn't like to absorb by any other ways than actual meat. I've tried supplements. I've tried liquid iron, and none of it has worked. So if I don't actually eat real meat, I do have a tendency to pass out quite a lot. So I don't have a choice. I don't like the way they kill animals. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one for, murdering animals willy-nilly in the cruel ways they do it. But I have to kind of overlook it because I have to eat. Survival of myself, I guess you could say. But that's just me. My sister, love her dearly. She's a vegetarian. She doesn't hate me for being a meat eater, and I don't hate her for being a vegetarian. I can see both sides of the coin. I need meat to survive. She has found a way to live without meat in her diet, and kudos to her. I can't medically not have meat. Very few people can do my kind of work that aren't firing me. I have grit and deal with things most people would never do, and I enjoy doing it. I used to work in dementia care homes, so I used to deal with a lot of mental health in there. And it's a hard environment to work in healthcare, especially mental health. I've had friends that have been in psych wards. I've had friends that have been in asylums. I've had friends that have killed themselves due to mental health. So I've experienced mental health of all kinds, and it's a really hard job to be in. I've lived a lot through mental health, I can't go into too much detail because obviously thing like that, but dementia patients are depressing. It's a hard environment to work in. It really is. To build a relationship with a resident and to watch them deteriorate and die is possibly one of the hardest things you can ever do. You build this rapport with a patient and they slowly die, forget who they are. It's a sad, sad story. And I worked in it. And my son is now working in a dementia wing. He's learned from me. But it is depressing. And mental health is a hard thing to work in. It is. Mental health, I think, is one of the more tiring, exhausting, but well rewarding jobs that you can have. My personal opinion might be biased because I've worked in it. I used to work in an inpatient facility. One of the psychiatrists was killed by a patient, so I had to leave. Jesus. I want to die an honorable death from corona, not from a psych shanking. I can see that. Mental health obviously isn't the easiest thing to work in. It's not tiring. It's tiring on the patients, but it's also tiring on the people working with them. It's a hard thing to go to work every day, put a smile on your face, and deal with mental health when you can see the pain and anguish a person's in, but then you're also experiencing their pain vicariously through yourself because you're living it with them. The same as seeing a dementia patient deteriorate before your eyes. It can actually put some mental health onto you just by working with them. But hopefully people move past their, I don't want to call it pettiness, but there are trolls on YouTube. Like I said, people can be wolves in sheep's clothing. They can seem nice on the outside, and you build a rapport with them, but they can flip in a second and stab you in the back. And that's why YouTube is kind of a minefield. One day you're friends with someone and the next day you have a beef with them. That's YouTube. One day you think you're shit hot on YouTube, and the next day you're tomorrow's garbage. YouTube is a fickle platform. You're either popular or you're not, and if you're not popular, then you have to be careful. And if you are popular, you have to be careful even more. That's how I feel about the situation. Could be different for other people. I don't trust anyone on YouTube. We should be able to enjoy each other without sharing everything. As I said before, only divulge information that you are willing to have people to know, or share information that can't be used against you. Keep secrets that not necessarily would make you look bad, but everybody on YouTube likes to be seen in a good light. No one wants to be looked at in a bad light. Everyone would like to say that they're friends with people, and everyone would like to say that they give off a good persona and that they just want to be everybody's friend. And sometimes that's the most dangerous person to be. A person that wants to be friends with everyone, a person that wants to know everything about you. I don't like talking to people privately from here. I talk to a select few people behind the scenes. Only very selective people have my Facebook. Selective people are in my Discord, and even more selective people have met me in real life. I have, if you want to call it, boundaries, limits to what people know about me. Even my closest friends, I would say, don't know everything. I do keep some things to myself, and that is to protect myself. You have to protect yourself. Of course, there are a few exemptions. There are exemptions to my rules sometimes. We have another falling out, and he has no private screenshot to share, so it worked out for me. I try not to divulge information on YouTube. I do try and keep quite a lot of my life private. There are things that I put out here, that I have a job, that I have kids, that I'm single, that I live in the UK. There are information I'm willing to give out voluntarily, like when someone comes in and they say, "Where are you from?" And I go, "I'm from the UK." And if they say they're from the UK, I'm like, "Well, I'm from the east of the UK." "Oh, really? I'm from there as well." Then I might say, "Well, yeah, I'm on the East Coast." And then if they say, "Well, I live in such and such," maybe, just maybe, I would say, "Well, I live in Swaffham." And I would divulge that. If someone came in here and said, "I like your channel, I see that you have kids," and they want to know my kids' names, then we like drawing a line under that, and we're moving on with the conversation. There are limits to what I will put out on YouTube, because you have to remember that you're not just safeguarding yourself. If you live with your children or your family live nearby, you have to be careful what you give out. You have to, I suppose you could say, work out who you can trust. I don't know if you have a checklist on who you can trust and limits to who you give stuff out to, but I do. If I would have been talking to him privately, all that shit would be out now. Hell no, I've learned from my mistake. The guy is a snake. I mean, I divulge some things in my Discord, but I would have to say that I trust the people I put in my Discord, because if I didn't, they wouldn't be there. I have select people in my Discord. It's a very select few, because I like to think that the people I have around me in there are trustworthy. Were they to find they weren't, obviously they would be kicked out. And if they did divulge stuff that was in there, then you'd obviously know their true colors, and that kind of thing. So I guess you just have to be more choosy on who you give stuff out to. Maybe people on YouTube don't need to know everything about you. I mean, I have a true crime channel. Does that mean they need to know I have children and where I live? Probably not. Does it build a more of a rapport with your channel and your subscribers if they know that you live in the UK? Or if you do have children? Maybe, but that doesn't mean necessarily that you have to give that information out. I'm more inclined to trust people who don't want to know anything about me yet. Sometimes the best thing to do is know nothing about a person. Information is dangerous. Information can make or break a relationship, a channel, a friendship, a beef. People who ask a lot of questions are sus. Yeah, why would people on YouTube want to know everything about you? There are friends in real life that don't know everything about me. I'm not giving my entire life to a troll on YouTube. I mean, that would be crazy. We'll just give you my entire life story, and you can run with it. You know, where I live, who my kids are, and just run with it. You know, I'm sorry, trolls, but you're gonna have to try a little bit harder than that. But as you say, I have a meh attitude. So if they came in here asking questions, half of the time it's like, meh, you know what? I'm not going to engage in that. You know, you're not worth my time. And trolls aren't really worth your time. And people that ask questions, maybe they're interested in you, but it's the people that come into your chat and suddenly want to know everything, or they are just here to pose that question and then they disappear. You have to, I suppose, take your time to get to know people on YouTube, which is a hard thing to do, because unless you're live streaming like religiously daily for hours at a time, even then you're not going to know everything about a person, because you can't dedicate your entire life to YouTube. I mean, you can dedicate a few hours a day. You could donate, 7 or 8 hours a day if you want to live stream, and then dedicate your time behind the scenes talking to people, as well as on YouTube. It can eat your day up, and then it just becomes just overpowering. Good evening, Zero. My friend, how are we this evening? Thank you for being here last night for my exhilarating death chat. It was fun, mind you. It's a stream I had thought about doing for a while, but I'd never plucked up the courage to do it. So thank you for being here last night, Zero. It was a really interesting topic. Good, and you're welcome. But we are talking about how well can you really know someone on YouTube, and inside every person, there's a person you don't know. Basically saying that on YouTube, some people are wolves in sheep's clothing. And the information you give out to people, you have to be careful. There are people out there who, would take the information and run with it. For example, Joe doesn't ask questions about my personal life. He just chats with me. He isn't trying to find out shit about me. And what he does know about me, he doesn't care in a malicious way. See, there are good people on YouTube who just want to sit chat, and just have a conversation and hang out. It's just harmless fun. But then there is the flip side of that, of the people who want to know everything about you so that they can use it against you. It was an amazing stream last night, Zero. Amazing. Same with Pat Stevens. Yeah, there are some people on YouTube that I trust more to divulge certain things to behind the scenes. And there are other people that I divulge stuff to, just not in depth. And there are some people I don't divulge anything to. They may be friends on YouTube, but that doesn't mean I want to be pally off YouTube and give my life's history to them. There's a fine line, and there's boundaries that I have for each people that I talk to. And you have to protect yourself nowadays on YouTube. You just do. There are some crazy people out there. Some wackadoo people out there. Believe me, I may have met some of them. Not necessarily from communities that you know, GLM, but there are some crazy people out there. And they're breeding. They're breeding crazy. Boundaries are good. It is good to set boundaries. When you come on YouTube for a first time, it's good to get a sense of the place. It's good to work out people as quick as you can. People you can trust, people you can't trust, people who have your interests at heart. Good evening, CryptKeeper67. Good evening to you. It is evening here. It is nearly 7:10. I've had a bath. That's why I look a bit shit today. My hair is wet. I'm wearing my fitness gear, which says CrossFit, just in case you're wondering. It's like my really fancy, expensive gear. How are you this evening, Crypt? We are talking about boundaries and trust on YouTube and how well you really know a person. Do you know everything about a person on YouTube? And the question of the day would you want to know about everything about your subscribers? Would you like to know the ins and outs of everybody on YouTube? Where they are, who they live, who they hang out with, where they go, who their partner is, do they have kids, where they work? How much do you need to know of a person on YouTube? And how much would you personally want to give out to a person on YouTube? It's 11:09 a.m. here, so you must be on you're on the West Coast or something. I can't remember where you live, Crypt. I'm sorry. I'm a bad YouTuber. Raven is in good shape. Well, I don't think so. I do have my fancy work gear on. I do have my fancy work gear. Very expensive work gear. I'd say I'm in fairly good shape, I must admit, and got my little old guns. As J-Ron would say, my little guns are getting there. I do try and keep myself in good stead. See, West Coast, Arizona. I knew you were on the West Coast. I had to narrow it down. See, didn't ask where he lived. I just said you were on the West Coast, and he gave out Arizona. See, some people are willing to give you information and others aren't. I knew 11:09 was probably West Coast. West Coast is the best coast for streaming. Well, I think UK is actually the best for streaming because I don't have 1,000 up, 1,000 down, and I don't have to worry about being in a no-cell area or whatever it is that Eli has issues with his phone. I usually just stream from my house, and I never really have any problems. I don't think I have any problems with my stream. It's not the best quality because I am currently using the green screen through my laptop. But I could buy an actual green screen, but then I'd have to change my setup. And I live in a flat, so I'm not exactly like... I don't exactly have massive areas of space to use for that kind of thing. Eli says that. I don't know why it's the best, but I'll go with it. I don't know. I've never been to America. I couldn't say whether the East or the West is better. I do have a friend on the East Coast. in Pennsylvania. I have a friend that's been there for about, I don't know, he must be out there for about maybe 15, 16 years. He's been in America, but he lives in Pennsylvania, and he says it's fairly nice out there, but I obviously can't say myself, having not been there personally. But we'll just go with that. He seems to think that, Pennsylvania is quite nice, and he's shown me New York before by video. So I'd, 50-50, I guess. But I think UK is quite cool as well. I mean, I do live here. Be wrong not to big up my own country. We do have our faults in the UK, don't get me wrong. We're not the best at everything by far. But have to be good at something. I just don't know what. There is that. I don't know what else to say. I've been talking for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I mean, that's impressive for myself, mind you. I don't know. I think I've done this topic justice. I've given my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions. I've put it on YouTube. I've delved my heart and soul. Oh, have I delved my soul into this? West Coast time zone is good to me because I don't like to stay up late every day. There is that. Sometimes I do, but being able to watch the late streams and still being able to go to sleep at a reasonable hour is nice. It is. I mean, I do find that I don't necessarily get to see a lot of late live streams because there's such a time difference with the West Coast. To me, there's I think it's an 8-hour or 7-hour time difference. The East Coast is 5 hours, and I think the West Coast is either 7 or 8. So, you're getting up in the morning and I'm having my tea. And then when I'm going to bed in the evening, you're having lunch. I mean, it's a hard thing to watch West Coast videos. There are some YouTubers I like to watch that because of the time difference. Most of the time I have to catch the replay of their video because I can't watch it live, which can be a pain sometimes because you're always behind on whatever they're talking about, especially if they do either daily streams or sometimes there's a topic that you're really interested in that maybe you can't talk in because of the difference in time zones. Or if you're having a live stream, they're asleep and can't come on the panel or something like that. It can make it's a hard thing having an American time zone and having friends in it because you can't always be there for them when they do a live stream, and they can't always be there for you either. I enjoy your stream. The only thing I didn't like was the "they will find you" part. I'm sorry, GLM. Otherwise, this was a nice chill stream. I'll do you on a pan in the future. Talking hurts at the moment. I know, GLM. You're dying. It would be 2 a.m. too when I do my music streams. Exactly, Crypt. As much as I love you West Coast people, your time zones just do not coincide with me. It hurts. It hurts in here that I have to watch replays of stuff. And your music, Crypt, I'd love to spend more time. But obviously, 2 a.m. I have work quite a lot recently. I've got work tomorrow, in fact. I can't stay up till 2 a.m. every evening. And that's why sometimes it's really hard to support every YouTuber, because there is a time difference. So sometimes I guess I am behind on the drama or behind on the beef. A beef can be over in the time on the West Coast it takes me to wake up. As funny as that sounds, yeah, a beef could be happening while I'm asleep, and by the time I wake up, it's over. as crazy as that sounds, what can I say? What can I do, Crypt? Help me here. There's no cure for being on the West Coast and me being in the UK. I catch what I can when I can and support who I can, you know. There's no real being able to support somebody, I guess you could call it fully, or as much as I'd like. But watching a replay is as good as watching their stream, I guess. It just means you can't comment as much or join in, and then you're maybe out of the loop on some things. It is what it is. It is what it is, Crypt. Exactly. It is what it is. It cannot be helped. It cannot be changed. So there's no point dwelling on it. I just have to do what I do, say what I say, and join in when I can. Simple as. But I've been live for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Woo, look at Raven go. So I don't know whether I've done the topic justice. I don't know whether some people are going to hate me for the topic. I can't see why. It's a universal topic, but there are people out there that apparently just don't like anything I do. What a surprise. Live is much better because you can chat, you can comment, you can join in. You feel part of the community then, and, you know, but, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? There's nothing I can do. You live on one coast, I live on another. There's also an ocean between us that causes problems. I mean, unless you can make an ocean disappear. In America, having different time zones is just so annoying. Because in the UK, we have one entire time zone for the entire country. Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and the UK all have the same time zone. And then you get to America, and there's 3 of them. Is there 3 time zones in America? I think. You've got Eastern, Western, and Mid or something. I get confused. You guys need to just have one time zone, but that's not how it works. Us in the UK, we have one time zone for the entire country, and that's England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. So we make it nice and easy here. You guys in America always have to make things more difficult. It's just who you are. It's just who you are. And it's a pain in the ass. You're a massive pain in my ass. Do I like a pain in my ass? Not all the time. But live is better. Cannot disagree with you. Live is 110% better. I do like to engage with the chat and everything. You know, it can be nice to be able to reply to a comment as it's being said, mind you. I guess if you're watching a live stream replay, you can't necessarily comment on what's being said. You can comment in the chat, you know, when it replays and voice your opinion down there, but it's not the same as doing it on an actual live stream as the person's talking about the subject. But, you know, that's, you know, what are you going to do? Can't change the time zones of the countries. I mean, you can try. I could stay up really late, which I have done on occasion. God, I needed sleep. I mean, if someone was to go live tonight and they were to go live really late, would I stay up for it? Possibly. I have stayed up before, but oh my God, am I tired at work the next day. I mean, your stream's got to be like the shit for me to stay up late because I have to work. And unfortunately, work's more important than any live stream you can ever put out because it pays my bills. You don't pay my bills and then your live stream's not important, basically. That's how I feel anyway. My personal opinion. If you don't pay my bills, you're irrelevant. But, you know, what can I say? 2.5 hour live stream. I think I've made my point clear. I don't know if there's anything left to say. I have work tomorrow, so I should really go eat, rest the rest of the evening. I've had a bath, that's why my hair's looking like shit today. Obviously, I'm in my exercise gear doing my yoga, flexing that back so that I don't crumble at work tomorrow because it's delivery day. To get overexcited about work. It's delivery day, so I have to make sure my back is prepared. And I don't just get these guns from not lifting boxes, as J-Ron would tell me. Raven, you need to put some weight on. And there's me exercising to take it off. Oh, the irony. But I hope everybody's enjoyed my stream. People that don't like my stream, well, it's too bad now I've made it. I don't care. If you've been watching the stream, you'll find out that I have a meh attitude, and really your opinion doesn't really count for anything. Sorry to burst your little bubble. But I hope you've enjoyed the stream. You may have learned something. You probably haven't. I probably not told you anything you've never heard before. But if I have taught you anything, let me know. Share it in the comment when you watch this back on a replay, because maybe you'd be interested in my thoughts. Maybe you wouldn't be. Who knows? Maybe you want to troll me. Do I care? It's a 50-50 tie in caring and giving a shit, really. It's just my stance on YouTube, isn't it? I really don't care. If you watch my videos, if you comment, if you like, if you share, if you want to donate, remember PayPal, a super chat. Feed my ego, whatever. Don't feed my ego. But thank you to GLM, Joe Buddy, Crypt Keeper, Gemma, J-Ron popped in. A few others popped in as well. It's been a really nice stream. We may have learned something today. We may have just been sitting around for 2.5 hours talking shit. I would say, again, 50-50. But if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. Don't be cruel. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it down. Again, meh. Thank you for GLM for being in the stream. I hope you feel better soon, GLM. Please don't die. I was only joking. No one's going to find where GLM lives because she lives underground in a different country. She's actually a covert spy. But if you like the video, please like, subscribe. I guess I'll see you all another time. Thank you once again for coming to watch my video, I guess, and having fun for a couple of hours that you'll never get back. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.